Alright guys, what's going on? This is Raven Eyes here and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've uploaded anything and this is gonna be weird because I've never really done this before. So I guess this will be my first time. I'm gonna include clips of all my previous work, but here's kind of what I've done for the past 2 weeks. I haven't really made any ZZZ videos or sim racing and stuff like that I usually do. It's because I want to incorporate more creative stuff into this channel. So, um, which unfortunately means less frequent videos on the channel. But I'm gonna try. So I got into like a 3D printing hobby kind of thing, and I've just been trying to 3D print like figures and stuff like that. So like right here, as you can see, I got like some test prints that I've done. This is Yuyuan, Jane Doe. I'm gonna redo these some other time. And yeah, I believe these two both are made by a creator called Neko Figurines, I believe. Let me see. It should be underneath. Yeah, there's the Neko Figurines. And oh shoot, she's falling apart. Or maybe I'm gonna keep this one. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to finish that one. But all I've done was print that. I didn't really do anything else. But yeah, this is the one that I really put more effort into and trying to learn. Ooh, she's falling apart. Yeah, I've been using sticky tack to hold them together too. But that's where this part comes into play. We're not using sticky tack. We actually, drilled holes. I did try to using sticky tack here for a reason, but maybe that was just me, trying to see how it fits. But after this, I'm probably going to figure out how to prime and paint. But yeah, I figured I'd just go over what I've been doing. Which, I'm still playing ZZZ. Oh man, it's kind of hard to navigate myself with the camera like this. Anyways, me. Yeah, that might be a little better, I think. Well, here's my first time trying to apply pegs onto a figure. You can see right here, this one kind of failed. I had to cut this one off because it wouldn't let me. It's still kind of doing it. Ooh. I like try to press fit them into there, and it was like a huge gap. It was preventing me from going in all the way. So I pulled the pegs out and I tried each side one by one, and it worked. But when I put both of them in, it didn't. So I just snapped it off. That's what I did. I mean, one peg's fine. It's there for stability, not really for anything else. As long as it's stable, it's doing its job. So I guess it's not a big deal. But I wish I could have done that. I also spent like literally an entire week just trying to figure out how to get magnets onto this thing because I bought them, so I want to use them. So I'm not really sure how I'm gonna go about doing that, but yeah. Anyways, this is my first time. And again, like this whole process, it's just a lot of patience and waiting. So even after I like printed everything, I had to get the tools. So unfortunately, the solution is getting the resources and the money to accomplish the task. So even the next step, which is priming, I have to pay for everything. So it's a slow and painful process, but once you get started, it should be easy, right? So here, I did I learn from my mistake? Did that snap off? I don't remember. I might have cut it shorter than the other one so it could slide in better. Yeah, that's what I did. So these were both the same length, and then I noticed it was really hard to get it in there, so I cut this off. So I probably could have done the same thing on this side, but oh well. So that way I could slide it in on one side and then slide it on the other, and then I could finish off by pushing it in. And you can see right here, it's a little bit better. So that was pretty nice. I tried using putty to like smoothen this out because like there was like you would see horizontal printer lines, kind of like this, but worse. You can see the texture maybe? I'm not sure if that picks up on camera. It was like textured and it wasn't flat. And so I added putty and I tried to close the gap as much as I could. So it is better, even though it looks different. But I'm sure once I put primer on it, it should be fine. Here's like the annoying part. It's not perfect. But you know, it is what it is. It'll be fine. If I have to, I'll try to fill in the gap by adding more, you know, putty. That's what this is for. I had to also buy this, wait for it to come to the house, and then I could continue on with my project. So, you know, thanks to that, I've been able to. So I filled some holes that I've done before, and I'll give an example in a bit. But yeah, probably gonna do that here before I prime it next. So yeah, I'll go on the base. And then we have the skirt, which I did nothing with except print it. It's still a bit fuzzy, so I'm gonna have to clean this up. That'll go on top of there. All right, next is the torso, right? So I'm sure you saw some yellow paint. And what I did was I took here's a brush I sacrificed for everything I did. I need like I might be able to save it actually, but I need like a flat scraping tool or something to kind of like spread this, kind of like say like there's like a hole or a crack in your wall. You've seen people use like plaster or whatever to, you know, those scraping tools. I got to figure out what they're called, but I might be able to just use an X-Acto knife actually, now that I think about it, like a blunt X-Acto knife. So I might do that. Just get a blunt X-Acto knife, but I use the tip here. See, it's yellow paint. And then I kind of shook it up, turned it upside down, and then whatever paint ended up on this side, I would poke it with, you know, get the paint on that end. So it's only a tiny bit. I would poke it into here, and then grab my drill and drill a hole into there. I think I'll show the process and, you know, some B-roll of that. But yeah, here's an example of me. So the hole right here on this side, I believe, was aligned wrong. So I covered it with plaster, and then I waited literally a whole day, the next day, to redo it. So, you know, not plaster, I meant the putty right here. And so that helped me fix a mistake that I've done. It might have been actually on here. Not entirely sure, but yeah. Now this one's harder to get on because, I mean, I'm not sure if you catch it on camera. You see they're not perfectly straight, which is why they're shorter. They're harder to get in there. Maybe I should have left one longer, but I didn't for whatever reason. And then I believe after getting them in there, I coated the outer edge with like putty. I just let that cure. So there's a lot of waiting, curing, and let's see what that looks like. Let's get some light. Right. So there is a bit of a gap there. You see that? I don't like that at all. Let me get the wide angle lens off. Yeah, there's a gap there, but luckily the skirt's there to prevent it from being noticed too much. Snap this back on. All right, so yeah, that's what ended up happening. Let me take the torso off because we're not gonna really look at the rest of the figure. So this part of the jacket, it just kind of like, you know, my 3D printer just kind of like printed. There were sports inside. It was really easy to snap off too, so this just slides in. So that's pretty nice. That's kind of nice to you know, it's just easy to work with. So this might be really fun to paint with as well because it's just slips right on. That's really nice. I like that. I drilled holes into here and I tried to make sure it was centered. I had a little bit of a challenge. So one of the Dremel tools I ended up using were this round tip edge Dremel tool, which now is going to be one of my favorite tools because basically I just kept digging into the figure until the crater was kind of centered. So if it was off centered, I'll try to push this, I'll angle it in the direction I want it to go, and so it's more centered, and that way my weight pushes it. My downward direction pushes it more towards the center. So if it was more this way, I would angle it that way and then try to force it into the center as I remove material. If it's a little bit this way, I'll turn it and try to slowly get it back to the center. And once it's centered, I wouldn't go too deep. I'll get the drill bit and continue drilling downward, straight down. So that made it easier. So it's a nice little technique that I thought of. I'm not sure if that actually is a technique, but it worked. It works. Now for the arms. Also, this one took a while, both sides. So I did the crater technique and drilled holes into both sides, making sure they're even, because these didn't come with pegs built into them, so I had to somehow get them in there. And I'm worried about whether it would actually stay in there, but I filled the hole I drilled into there with putty, like as much as I could. And I pushed these into there so the putty would squeeze right out, and I just let them cure this way. I think they came out pretty well. And then these just kind of go in. This side is easier to snap in. And then you can see putty in there. I mean, sticky tack. Now, when I first tried to put these in there, they didn't really fit too well. But once I got in there, I kind of just let them. It's been about a week since I worked on this, so it's kind of just settled in place. So they fit in there pretty nicely. Now, I haven't worked on these hands. I'm kind of scared to work on it because there's not much material. Everything's easy to snap, so I don't really want to mess with this too much. But everything kind of friction fits pretty well. So I don't know if I'm going to leave it like this or not. So I just press it in there and it stays. Kind of. Okay. I might actually have to drill it today. I might, because doesn't feel like it's friction fitting. It might have gotten wider already, so that sucks. Let's see if this side friction fits pretty well. So I might need to reprint this or do something about that. But again, I'm gonna get my X-Acto knife and find something to like play with the putty a bit. Yeah, this is not fitting in. Okay, there you go. Yeah, see, friction fit. All right, next is this was pretty hard because if you look at the square section there, the pegs that were already part of the model, this square over here is bigger than this square, so I really needed to figure out how I was gonna try magnets with this, but so I had these little tiny grabbers. I forget what they're called. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, okay, they're right here. So they have metal tips, and the magnets would magnetize onto metal tips, so I couldn't really place magnets into there. So gave up on that pretty quick, and I spent a week just thinking about it. Of course, I was just playing my other gotcha games. So same thing here. Small drill bit drilled into this. Put some metal wire, so luckily I have some from trying to work with another figure, which is not right here right now, which I'm going to redo maybe in the future pretty soon. In fact, I might do it next instead of priming and painting this first because I got to figure out how I'm going to do the whole painting process because it's not like I have any equipment. So you can see some sticky tack in there, which is pretty funny. There's some still on this part. It's hard to take off. It's really sticky. Anyways, same thing. Um, I didn't use the crater technique, I guess I'm gonna call it, where I try to create a centered crater from the round tip Dremel bit instead of just kind of drilled straight down and try to make sure it's as center as possible. That's all I did. And yeah, they just slip right in. Pretty nice. Peg here, I used the crater technique, so I'm really glad I learned that technique because it made things so much easier, making sure everything is centered as possible. So that's centered. Same thing here. Especially with deeper holes, it's hard to like. This is not even centered at all, which is why it's. Let me show you. It's hard to get in there. So, okay, let's take this off so it doesn't. We'll put it back on in a bit. So here, if I squeeze them in, the hole. Oh wait, it's in. Okay, that was anticlimactic. Well, it worked. It worked. That's all that matters. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to clean up all these little details and little bits of string from 3D printing. Yeah, 3D printers get pretty stringy. Here's an example of a little stringiness. Look at all this. I gotta figure out how to clean this. So this is for Caesar's wheel. I'm for her bike. So I can't wait to work on this. It's pretty cool. I love the just it took 3 days to print that. Not 3 full days, but no, actually I think 3 full days and so there's like 3 wheels here. One, two, three. Alright, let's get this in here. Come on. Get in there. Alright, so now is the hardest part, I think. And that's something I'm just gonna have to figure out. I'm gonna be doing that on my own, but I might just like friction fit it, to be honest. That's what I might do. So what I might do is add some material to, something, and then just like press it in there and it'll just hold. That's what I'm just gonna do, I think, because this is a lot of work. And then even worse is figuring out how to get these glasses to actually fit on here. I have an idea, but I'm not gonna do it just yet. In fact, I don't even know where she would have it sit. Up here? Cool. And I'm worried about it breaking because it's like so thin. Dude, like you can see the light going through it. That's crazy, man. I'm not sure if that picked up on camera or not. Probably not. Anywho, let's finish assembling this. Right. So the head. This hole is hard to make, and I had a unique part experience here. So I tried to use wire at first, but the wire wouldn't hold too well. So I drilled into there with the wire. So the wire is probably inside her brain right now, but I used the bigger drill bit to push the wire into there, which is crazy. That was annoying. But yeah. Then I did the crater technique and drilled a hole into there. I have a peg about this long. Did the same thing here. And yeah, there you go. Bernice White. Possibly my favorite character. Not really. My favorite character in the Sons of Caladan faction. And the Sons of Caledon is my favorite faction at this point. Um, shoot, yeah, I might use wire to or something to finish that off. I'm gonna have to because it clearly friction fitting everything is just it's not gonna work if there's too much movement going on and playing around. You need something to really stabilize it. But yeah. If anyone has experience with 3D printing, maybe they can give me some tips on like if if anyone has any, priming, painting, sanding, or whatever. I'm not really sure what to do. But yeah, if you enjoyed this quick little clip recap of what I've been doing for the past month, yeah, let me know. Comment, like, subscribe. Um, I did pull for Yanagi. I don't know if I'm gonna upload video clips of that, but I might do some tower videos in a bit. But currently, I'm enjoying this whole process. I might get back into drawing pretty soon as well. 'Cause I used to draw a lot. I kind of miss it, but I got into this 3D figure stuff because look, I'm making my own collectibles, right? It's a process that I get to learn and be creative and build and have, something to show for it. So I think that's really, really cool. Um, but yeah, if you, okay. You have to have some problem solving skills, especially if you're starting from scratch and zero. But I figured here's the creator of the 3D model, Sraoill. Don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah. Uh, but that's the process so far that I've been through. I did sand some areas as well, just a little bit, because it was a little weird. But I don't think I'm gonna show that. And then not put her hands on and keep her glasses off because they're gonna fall off anyways. And I haven't figured out how to attach those just yet. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Catch you in the next one. See ya.